definitely extremely challenging. So when COVID hit, like I'm a contract therapist. I independently contracted the school. So immediately when they said no school, they kind of said, okay, all contracts on hold. And so, that kind of just goes, okay, that's my whole job. This is what I do, and I don't have a backup income type of thing. So that was definitely a challenge. And so, we kind of put together, say, look, if this is how life's going to be, then we need to figure out, okay, how can we make this still work? These kids still need this service. If you're still going to provide education to these kids, then they're still going to need the support that we've been providing. So, our school system actually was pretty good about jumping on and figuring out, okay, so how do we make this teletherapy work? How do we bring that in? And so, this school year has been, a challenge to say the least. Yeah, like in my 20 plus years of experience, this has probably been the most difficult year I've ever worked. So, but and I think that probably you ask any therapist that's practicing right now, and they probably will say the exact same thing. So,
we went from being fully face-to-face the first week of March, and then nothing for about a week. And then we slowly started to trickle into the teletherapy thing. But that was hard in our county, just as far as it's very rural. So a lot of people didn't have internet or computers or anything. So we had to try to figure out, how to solve that. And so we were teletherapy all through May. And then we came back, and they're letting us bring in some of our kids for related services for face-to-face sessions now, but we're still part teletherapy, part face-to-face, part change your schedule every single day because it's not working.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I think this school year starting out with, we've been, I guess, a little bit more blessed where the school was, say, prepared. Our school is still fully remote. Everybody is online. And so the school had done a better job of getting devices out to every kid in the school. Pretty much 3rd through 12th grade last year had Chromebooks, but not all of them took them home. Some of them they were assigned at school and they just used them at school. So at the beginning of this year, one of the things that the school system did was assign every kid K through 12 a device, whether it's an iPad or a Chromebook. And so so we have a 1-to-1 rollout. Every kid was assigned a device now, which was obviously helped us reach more kids than we did back in the spring. And then also our district, our Exceptional Children's Department, they made sure that we were all trained they actually contract with this company to do Zoom with teletherapy program, so that because with PT and OT we have to be in a HIPAA and FERPA compliant environment to be able to do teletherapy, where speech is not. So they have a little bit more flexibility in what medium they can use, where we couldn't. And so our school system was very good in making sure that we had the correct medium to be able to reach out to our kids and things like that, as well as, even though our school system is completely remote online, they did allow us, for our kids that really have us PT, probably I would say especially, the ability to they couldn't interact with online, that we can see them face to face. So we actually have a screening protocol we go through when they come in. We have to screen temperatures and we have to go through a whole questionnaire. But we can't, and a lot of our parents just drop their kids off and they get their therapy and then they come back and pick them up. So we have that in place to be able to actually see our kids face to face, which has been and somewhat a scheduling nightmare, but actually a huge blessing that these kids actually are getting some of the interaction that they need. And actually we've been able to have some of them as well get some of their educational input too, as well, when they come in for school for therapy. But that's kind of been minimal and in between. And
I have to say, as far as the whole pandemic and, having to switch to remote, I know Leslie was very, very involved in the town and knew everybody, so she didn't have that. But for me, coming in as a traveler, the parents dropped their kids off at school or they rode the bus, and then I would have therapy and see the kids and talk to the teachers, but I didn't really have a lot of parent contact last year. So this has opened up a whole new world for me, as far as, I know the parents, I talk to the parents weekly, I know the siblings, we'll do therapy sessions with the whole family sometimes if they're on. And so I feel like there's a lot more carryover at home for what I can do. And I don't know if it's the same for everyone or just me because I'm new here, but it's been cool to see how much carryover there is at home for the kids now that we are more in contact with the parents and stuff because of the remote and all the technology.